Hello Darts Nutz and welcome to Darts Review channel. If this is the first time you've seen the channel, then a special welcome to you, and I hope you click the subscribe button and hang around. I've got lots of great stuff coming in the future. In this review I'm going to be reviewing this Cuesoul dartboard. I just want to say thanks to Cuesoul for sending the board. These retail for £47.89 and at present you can only get them on amazon.co.uk if you're in the UK. You can also buy them from their website. I'll put links up to that in the description. But they are looking to get a better distribution for the UK market, so hopefully that'll happen in the near future. But they also sent this, which is the Cuesoul dartboard surround, and so I'm kind of going to do a review of them both together, but there's not a lot you can say about surrounds. Basically, it's made out of polyurethane and it's kind of injection moulded. If you look on the back, you can see how the machine has kind of formed it and everything. But this actually feels quite a good one. It's quite thick, as you can see. It's very dense and it feels really tough as well. But I don't know the exact price of these and I couldn't find out the information. I haven't heard back from Cuesoul, so I don't really know. But I did see one site where it said 44, but I think that was in euros. It was a bit ambiguous, to be honest. But when it's on the board, I'll have a closer look at it and I'll throw some darts at it and we'll just see how it works from there. So let's get on with the review and check the board out. Alright, so here's just a quick look at the board. Can't get it all into focus properly, but there's the Pro Championship logo on the bottom and the Cuesoul logo on the top. It's got a traditional round wire numbering what you can take off, and obviously when you rotate your board you move it back into the right position. You should always rotate your board at least once a week, I would say. But looking at the board, it looks very similar to, I think it's like a mixture between a Blade 4 and a Unicorn Eclipse, but looks quite neat. It's just got the traditional lines which you get from the biscuits, but I can't really see any major issues looking at it. Nothing wrong with the inking. Obviously you get these little marks which is due to the biscuits, the edges. If you don't know how a board is made, they cut little round circles. It's made with long pieces of grass and they put them into a tube and they cut little round discs off, and then they put all the discs together and they squash them together. That's why you get these lines, and it's usually covered in paper, and sometimes around the edges you might get little bits of paper coming up. But that's just how boards have been made for a long time. Yeah, so we'll have a close look at the board now. Right, so there's the top logo, the Cuesoul logo, and obviously you can see the numbering, and just go around and the Cuesoul symbol logo, keep going round and you can see the brackets, and then the Pro Championship logo, and back to the number 11 with the last logo, and then back to the top. So we'll have a look at the bullseye. Just looking at it without measuring it, looks pretty central to me, but I do have quite a bad astigmatism, so it may not look the same to you. But it's a thin edged spider, very thin. Let's have a look at the surface of the board now. Nothing really wrong with the inking. It seems pretty solid all the way through. No visible issues. Obviously you get these lines and little gaps in the line sometimes, but that is just the process of how the boards are made, with the biscuits squashed together. Let's have a close look then. and there's the legs of the arms of the spider. All seems pretty neat, as you would expect. So I'll just take some measurements now of the segments so I can compare them to the other boards that I've reviewed. Alright, I'm going to measure the bull area first. So let's see, I'll do some more measurements when it's on the wall because it's usually easier, but I'll just take photographs of them. So there could be a slight difference between that and what I'm doing now. So the diameter of the 25 is 31.2 millimeters. The bullseye is 11.85. Just check, see how square it is. So 7.83 or 4. I nearly said 4. And 7.81, so it's pretty closely centered. I'll measure the trebles. Zoom in a bit. Right, it's a bit awkward because the arm of the tripod's in the way. That treble, just make sure that's alright, yeah. So that treble is 9.27 and the double is 9.6. I'll just measure another. Obviously I don't expect to be perfectly in position here because it's a little bit awkward with the camera in the way, but like I say, I'll take some proper pictures later. So with that, yeah, so that is 9.23 and 9.54, so I think they're probably going to be much the same all the way around. So that's the measurements of the board. Now just need to put it up and throw some darts at it. Right, so I've got the board and the surround all set up now. The surround was actually quite hard to get on the board. It was very tight fit. Got it on eventually, but it was a bit of a struggle, and with it being the actual board for Cuesoul, I didn't think it would be that much of a struggle, but actually it'd probably be better that it's nice snug fit like that, but there you go. Right, I've actually tried doing this part of the review about 4 or 5 times now. Something's wrong with my camera, or it could be the memory card, but it keeps recording and then it freezes and then I have to pull the battery out, but I've put a new memory card in now, so if this works then I know it was the old memory card. If that doesn't work then my camera's knackered. But I'm going to throw my custom made darts again at the board. These are 22 or 23 gram, I can't remember which exactly. I've already thrown quite a lot of darts at the board and it looks as if I haven't thrown any, but I'm going to do it again just for the sake of this in case it hasn't worked previously. quite a nice soft sounding board. And the thing that I'm surprised with, I've already mentioned this, but it may not have recorded. Everywhere I throw the dart, it sounds pretty much the same. Sometimes you get parts of the board that might sound a little bit echoey or a bit woody. But it just seems to be the same everywhere you throw your dart. And it's very quiet as well. Now, like I said, I don't know what is recorded on there until I check it on my computer. But I've already mentioned about the surround. It's quite a snug fit to the board. It took quite a bit of effort to get it on. So whether that being such a nice tight fit is dampening the sound down, I'm not sure. I'm sure it probably plays a part in it. But I've stabbed the dart in like that and it doesn't hardly sound as if I'm doing anything. Listen. Now, the one that I threw in the hardest was that first one. And I'm about 3mm away from the nose of the barrel. I can't get it in any further, so I'm probably on the backboard there. That might be 3/4 of an inch, so that means the fibres could be that long. And I've pulled that out, and obviously there's a hole there, but it's not like a massive hole. And that one is very small. And it seems to heal up really nicely. I was surprised, to be honest, that it was as good as this. All the ones around the middle, it just sounds the same as the outside. Now this is my normal throw. For my normal throw, I'll take that one out and I'll take this one out. Just get my finger right on the end. For my normal throw, it's going in probably just under 1/2 inch. I know some people throw heavy darts and some people throw harder, but for me, the darts are sticking in nice and easy, but they're not going in too far with my throw. And like I said, it's got a very even sound all the way through. It feels quite a dense board, but also seems to be soft as well. It's kind of a strange one. Could be the softness that's making it sound less hard. Sometimes you get that like woodeny sound on hard boards, but obviously I can't test the full wear in a short review. It'll take time to test that, but from first impressions it's closing up the holes well, and that might be because it's fairly soft, but we'll have to see how it wears. But the spider's a nice thin spider, and it's fairly flush to the surface of the board, which I prefer. And it reminds me kind of a mixture between the Blade 4 and the Eclipse Pro actually. It's almost like a hybrid of them two boards. Let's try to think of the right word then. Like I said, I don't know of everything recorded, so I'm going to do it again. I've already put 4 holes in the surround, but there you go, there's another one, and another, and another. Pull them out. Now obviously you'll see marks, but they're not leaving big gaping holes, which is good, so that's a very nice surround, but it's doing what you would expect it to do anyway. So not much else I can do. I'm just going to have to play on the board and then report back. I might do a report in another month or 3 months time, just depends how busy I am. But as it stands, I'm really impressed with it. It would be nice if the board was a little bit cheaper though. I think if it was around about the £40 mark, it would be a contender for sure. But as it stands, it's a little bit in the higher price range, but if it wears well, then it could be worth it. So that's the end of the review. Thanks for watching.